Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel Coins Reaction Zone and episode 8 and the final episode of the One Piece live action series. So last episode, we got Nami's backstory and the Arlong Park arc after Arlong showed up the Barati, which doesn't happen in the anime manga, but they kind of just condensed it down a bit. Arlong showed up there, and then they left with Nami to go to Kokiyakishi village, where we met the villagers, Genzo and Nojiko, and everybody else. And one of the disappointing things about that last episode, and why I rated it a 5 out of 10, is that a lot of it was in the anime manga. Everybody in the village knows that Nami is the one is stealing money to buy back the village, and they basically protect her. And it's a more emotional moment of everybody knowing what she's doing and why she's such a good person and why Luffy wants to save her. But they went for more of the dramatic way of like Nojika hating her and everything in that for that big reveal. It's whatever for me, I guess. It just feels like it's a waste of those moments. But the scene of the passing of the straw hat of like Luffy giving her his treasure was really well done. I feel like that was definitely a good emotional moment. I feel like Emily Rudd played that really well. Luffy was a bit cringe at the end by repeating the same line 3 times instead of like in the anime manga. I believe he only says it once, and that gets the point across. And then they do the awesome walk to Arlong Park, which is one of my favorite scenes with the music playing in the background in the anime. Like we're not going to go to Logtone at all because we're not even close to it. Instead of me thinking that it's going to be one saga per season, they're going to end it right before a main story arc, which they've already rushed through the pacing pretty fast. But ending it kind of after Arlong just is kind of strange to me. But we'll see how it goes. I like that Garp is still around. Kobe Himepo Garp stuff is kind of random, especially since it's completely new things of like having them interact with previous characters like Zeph. But I'm curious to see how we'll end it off with how things are going and if Luffy will actually get his main bounty in this episode or not. So I think that's going to do it for me. I'm really excited to get into this. And the last episode, I've just been reacting to them all in a row, and then I'm going to edit them all in a row and just release them maybe like once every hour, or once a day. So without further ado, just get right into it. Looks like this is also going to be the shortest episode, so it's probably going to be just fights. And then Hachan has not been around at all, so it's probably just going to be Kurubi and Chu as the main bad guy villains. So yeah, like I said, they're rushing to the pacing, but then stopping for the story beats that happen in the manga, and then immediately rushing again. That's one of the big things I'm noticing so far, of like doing the sad Nami reveal and immediately skipping to the walk down Arlong Park, but not showing the full thing. They immediately showing the villagers wanting to fight Arlong, and then immediately going to the next thing.
What is this place? Maybe you should take a break.
I love the Sanji and Zoro fights are already pretty good. It's pretty fun. And I love how they're fighting each other, but also still knowing that Luffy needs them and just kicking ass. And then Buggy's still here. It's pretty funny. Yep, and I bet he's gonna leave.
I'm gonna get out of here.
Flip them off.
Sorry, kiddos.
It does make sense. It'd be too easy of a fight if Buggy helped out, especially since Hachan's not even here because they didn't want an 8-armed octopus. And then Mumu's not here either, that's sea cow, because they're too scared to animate animals. Is he doing the Usopp fake blood thing? Yep, ketchup. Freaking, that reveal is definitely a camera moment.
Where you going? You haven't even tried my hot sauce.
That still won't save you.
Maybe you should try one of my new patented fire rounds.
Oh, here we go. First time that he's used his Firestar
Maybe
one.
you don't,
It looked pretty good as well.
but alcohol does.
Oh, here we go. And his first time he called his attack. Nice. Love it. And Chu's gone. Nice job, Usopp.
The great Captain Usopp fails another notorious villain.
You built.
Oh, here we go. Luffy destroying Arlong's building. Oh. Take it down, boy. Forcing Nami to draw the maps and being overall horrible guy. So being defeated. Oh, here we go. Sanji calling his fights in the Kurubi fight. Yes, I like that. His fish cooking cuisine special moves.
All great fighters call out their finishing moves. Yeah, you're gonna fit in just fine.
I like that. It's his first time he's really accepted Sanji as part of the crew.
You guys are pretty good in here.
And Usopp's back afterwards. Good job, Usopp. You helped out. The destruction looks pretty good though. That's definitely where all their animation went. I like how each block of wood is coming apart. It looks pretty well done. Kind of like a thing of Legos. Is that really Arlong defeated? I know Luffy's gonna come out of there just fine, but Arlong kind of went out like a bitch. Just a building fell on top of him. Kind of disappointing, especially since he was labeled as the big bad. Since they were setting him up and having him appear everywhere as like the main bad guy, since he has the highest bounty in the East Blue. You know, Don Krieg was supposed to be one of the highest, but he kind of just went out like a bitch as well by Mihawk. So just overall kind of disappointing villain-wise. But Sanji and Usopp have so far been my favorites. I'm very much enjoyed them in live action.
We are your crew.
Oh, here comes Garpy. He's here now too.
No,
Ooh, and Kobe's not following orders.
I disagree with those orders, sir.
Nice job, Kobe. Be your own man.
Me too.
Oh, and Himepo? That's awesome. I love Himepo now.
Anyone else like to follow
I think
their
he's
lead?
a lot better in live action. Because Himepo kind of just became a good guy, but they didn't really explain the minutia of that. So I'm very happy with how it's gone. Alright, here we go. Garp and Luffy are gonna fight.
I'm a respected Marine, but instead, he chose to become a pirate.
No, Grandpa. I've always been a pirate.
He's gonna hate that.
Last chance. Give it up.
Oh no. He's gonna become king of the pirates. He hates that. Oh, it's also the first time Garp's realized that they're so similar. Here we go. Nope, he's into disbelief. No, here we go. Let's see what happens. Still got 20 minutes left.
Hunt them down and arrest them.
What about these straw hats?
What about them?
Arrest them too. They're the real criminals.
He doesn't even know that Nezumi's the bad guy though, so why did he let Nami do that without reacting?
I knew I'd never be able to change your mind, but I know who you are, boy. I just needed to make sure you knew it too.
I guess that's one way to do it.
You're on your own now.
So does that mean Garp won't show up if there's a second season because they already kind of wasted plot lines that never happened?
I have my friends.
And I guess we're all chilling now, so making something happen that never happened in the main show kind of feels a bit worthless at this point. So it's just like, yeah, I know you're good since, you know, you're doing okay. Okay, bye.
It's finally my own.
Kind of like, what? Why?
I'm sorry I didn't understand the sacrifices you made for me.
At least she still likes
I
tangerines.
do.
And then I love that they're using her
I know what it
anime
means
manga accurate
for your
outfits.
family.
Planting the windmill in the mango, just like it. And I think it's a nice touch though that they made out of the tangerine. Makes it more emotional.
Come to see us up? I don't think that's a good idea. Gonna try to arrest
Oh, instead of a bird coming in, are they gonna have Kobe delivering the wanted poster himself? That'd be a pretty nice touch.
Here's your friend.
Yep. Oh, and they're trying to follow it exactly
Nezumi's last act of revenge.
as the manga.
Yes! Whoa! Whoa! That's a lot of berry! It's the highest bounty in the East Blue. That's exactly what I wanted.
Be a good Marine.
Be a good pirate.
I wasn't sure about it at first, but I feel like that they really kind of stretched it on a good way with the Kobe storyline. Garp, I feel like, was completely unnecessary. The Kobe thing was pretty nice, instead of just leaving after 2 anime episodes and then not showing up until freaking Water 7. And they did try to make it exactly like the manga.
That's Luffy's wanted poster.
Not just Luffy.
That East Blue will be gunning for you.
Not just Luffy, they're going to be gunning for all of us.
Oh, and she's back to her traditional outfit. Okay, cool.
We're not staying at East Blue.
Yep, time to go to Logtown.
We're going to the Grand Line.
Oh, Makino. Oh, they're doing the thing where they show everybody having bounties. Nice. And they're still showing the bird. Great. Alright, show Shanks with the bounty poster. Oh, Kaya, nice. Who's she gonna tell as... She can't tell Mary. She's the one that tells Mary at first. Oh, I saw that on that newspaper. It mentioned the Revolutionary Army. So that's a nice Easter egg. Nice. Putting it up on the list. Employee of the month. That's awesome. Oh, Buggy's back there too.
I'll kill the little shit myself.
If you
Nice.
Go, I will.
Oh, here comes Alvida. Yep, Buggy and Alvida teaming up for Logtown. Very excited for that.
Following orders doesn't make you a good Marine. It's following your code. All men have their own brand of justice. And you both followed yours, so well done.
So you're not going to punish us?
Well, I wouldn't say that. My training methods have been called the worst kind of punishment.
Here comes the training montage that happens in like episodes 74, 75 of the anime
Well, you want to
during the cover arcs.
learn how to fight.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that.
I want to be worthy of holding my own against someone like Luffy.
You want?
I want to show people that Roanoa Zoro isn't the only one that knows how to use swords. But too. Like my friend.
Oh, nice. That's cute. I like that. Bit of a sun there.
Maybe the old chef was right. It is your turn.
Oh, Mihawk's back too. Oh no, yes, nice. So they're gonna push forward the Shank scene of Mihawk talking to him.
For a man of your stature.
I'm not in the mood for a duel today, Hawkeyes.
Not here to fight. Not when you're half the man you used to be.
I could still take it. And with one arm tied behind my back.
Nice.
A boy you mentioned long ago.
He really did it.
No way. It's Luffy. He's a pirate.
Better watch your backs.
Bring out the reserve booze, boys.
Thought you were hungover.
Oh, lighten up, you somber old son of a gun. Drink with us.
I suppose a drink wouldn't hurt.
Cause to celebrate.
It's a little piece of home to take with you in our journey.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're still doing this part. Sweet. I wonder if she changed her tattoo like she did in the anime, in manga. Oh, so they painted the whole sail and not just a flag. Okay, nice. Nice. I love that they kept his sitting position like in the anime manga.
The entrance to the Grand Line isn't too far off, but I think there's a mistake on the map. You show a mountain. I mean, how can a river go?
Yeah, reverse mountain.
You're a navigator.
So are they skipping Logtown then completely? That's how Smoker shows up. So that'd be a bit disappointing. Hopefully Sanji mentions going to Logtown. Oh. Oh, they're gonna do the dream sequence. Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna find the old blue. I'm gonna be king of the pirates.
Nice. I like that they're doing this way.
I'm gonna draw a map of the world.
I'm gonna become a brave warrior of the sea.
Stand in our way!
I like this. This is a cool moment. I like the way they did this. Oh, and they're doing kind of like an acoustic version of the logo. And ending it, yep, with the main one. Noise going into the eyeball. Oh, I see smoke. It better be Smoker. He showed up at Roger's execution. Yes, Smoker. Yeah, so I did another dumb thing and didn't turn on the screen for the last two episodes. I've been sick, so I've been struggling. It completely passed my mind, but... So a few things in this episode. We got the last of Nami's backstory. Kind of disappointing though that the villagers never knew the whole time, and that I don't think she ever changed her tattoo because I didn't see any of it. But maybe it just won't mention it really again. Everything kind of worked out in the end. Kind of, they never animated Hachangi's no 8 arms, so Sabari Archipelago is going to be pretty confusing whenever we move forward down the line. So that's kind of disappointing. Arlong kind of went out like a bitch, to be honest. Kind of just the building fell on him. He didn't have any of his power-ups, like using his sawtooth nose. That was very important for the show. They did show the teeth changing, which was kind of nice, because I thought they wouldn't do that. The Karubi fight was pretty fun with Sanji calling out his moves. And Zoro never ended up calling out his moves. They set it up in the trailer like something important that was going to happen in the main show, but it never happened at all, which was a bit disappointing. And especially since they kind of leaned into the cringe at the end with like the woohoos and stuff like that, which was kind of saying them a few times and things. Emily Rudd is definitely my favorite actress. I thought she was going to be originally. She was very fun. And then I think Usopp and Sanji are my favorites, but I think Sanji kind of kicks it a little bit forward. I think is a lot more fun. Zoro, I feel like, was too serious and edgy for this show. Like they all had great comedic moments and great serious moments that really balance each other well. But I feel like this one had no balance really. It was either too dark or not very much comedic moments, but just some lines that are kind of funny. But still pretty fun. I like that they progressed Usopp and Kaya's arc a little bit more to actually show that they're in a romantic relationship. Kind of disappointed about the Mary death because he does show up for further down the line, and it doesn't seem like there's really much reaction to his death. And then Buggy keep showing up, which was a nice surprise because I love Jeff Ward, but a bit kind of strange of like how arcs will go on further down the line. I did like that they show him teaming up with Aveda at the end, leading us into Logtown, and Smoker in an in-credit scene. Garp, Kobe, and Himilpo showing up on Kokiyaki Village, and also the Barati doesn't really make sense in the grand scheme of things, but it's still pretty fun to see them, and also pushing forward on Kobe and Himilpo's storyline, not just in the background in episode 75 and 76 of the anime, which I believe it happens around there vaguely, or it might be 175 and 176. I can't remember at the moment. Makes sense instead of after 2 episodes of the anime for him disappearing, but there was a lot of cuts from the pacing. So, like, for example, the storyline with Kobe, Axel Morgan was a bad guy. That's why everybody left. So for Himilpo to still be loving his dad as long as he didn't really make sense, to be honest. But he slowly got over it. And Full Body did show up in Bharati, but he got defeated and then never shown again. It had more of a overarching plot for that. Don Krieg went out like a wimp in that arc as well by Mihawk. And Jin showed up, but very, very briefly, and just didn't have as much as an emotional impact of Jin doing the sacrifice because there was no sacrifice, and then Pearl not showing up. Just a lot of cuts that completely ruined the overarching for me. Not really ruined is not the right word. Just kind of stalled it. Like I said, they went several times. They went for all these whoosh, fast pacing, and they stopped for slight comedic moments. Like, I felt like they just basically had a checklist, and they weren't really following getting up to the checklist. They're like, okay, Nami is sad, Sanji's stuck on a rock for the food thing, Zeph kicks him, Zeph yells at him, there's all kinds of stuff, just a checklist, but I feel like they didn't really get there as succinctly as I would have wanted. It was still very enjoyable, but it was just definitely some moments that were missing that brought up the story a lot cleaner, especially since they set up Arlong to be this big bad, and they fought for a few minutes, Luffy destroyed the building, and then landed right on top of him. Arlong fight lasted a lot longer, but I understand, can't have the fights, lasting forever. But I feel like they more focused on the Garp thing that didn't lead anywhere. That's been going on for several episodes, and then immediately cutting it off instead of having an actual succinct fight with the main bad guy of the East Blue. So a bit disappointing on that front, which is why I'm going to give this last episode a 6 out of 10, which is 65% total score of the series. So I'm going to round that up to a 7 out of 10 because it was enjoyable. It was good. I enjoyed it, but there's definitely some parts that were a bit disappointing for me, but also parts that I like the changes of, like the Kobe Himilpo story. I did enjoy. I didn't like the Garp part of it, but I like the Komobi and Himilpo part of it because it really built out their characters a lot more. But there's also characters that they completely didn't really build out, like Zoro, his entire backstory taking place in a well. That was just so confusing and like just such a bad timing for it. It should have happened when it happened in his main storyline and just been a lot cleaner that way. And also, they were scared to animate animals the entire time. Mumu, no animals besides the sea beast for a few scenes. And just kind of a bit lackluster in those certain aspects, but still pretty fun. Jeff Ward was definitely a standout like I expected. Love him from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., loved him as Buggy. Excited to see how they go from here. And I'm pretty sure they're probably going to have a second season. It's one of the most popular around the world, #1 on Netflix for the entire show. And I heard that they already built all those sets and kept them in South Africa where they filmed. It would be a struggle of not making their money back by not making a second season. So I think at this point they're kind of in the running to make one. But with the writer's strike, they probably won't do anything until like 2025, probably at the latest, at the current moment, what everybody's thinking. So I'm interested to see where we go from here. The first episode of the next season will probably be Logtown and then Reverse Mountain. Probably at least a good amount into Alabasta. So if we get to Chopper and Robin, I'm really interested to see how those are animated and what kind of design they decide on Chopper, especially since they're so afraid of animals. They're scared of them, so I don't think Chopper at this moment. I don't have any faith in Chopper's adaptation. But I'm really curious to see how what'll happen. And then they better use Jamie Lee Curtis as Correa because she talked about at a panel a long time ago, viral in the community, because it's like the first like mainstream actress that kind of talked about openly about her being a fan of One Piece. And she was talking about playing Nico Robin, but that she's too old for that now, but she'd love to play Korea. So she even knew about side character, which was pretty cool. And that'd be really awesome to see her in that format. Overall, pretty fun live action adaptation. It's definitely the best live action adaptation for me personally, but there's definitely still some things that have been changed that kind of mess with the storyline, especially if they do, 10 seasons, for example. They're probably going to need more budget because it was 17 million per episode, and I honestly can't see the budget. There's a lot of things that they could have done to change things around to make it more natural. Maybe they'll kind of manage that better as we go on. I'm really expecting a second season, so I would be surprised if it's canceled unless it came with budget. But it's been so popular that it'd be kind of stupid for Netflix to do that. I really enjoyed this live action adaptation. There's a lot of changes that I've noticed. And tune in for my anime reaction. It'll be my 12th rewatch of the show. So if you're excited about me watching that for different reveals and stuff of the show, then you probably won't like it. But if you just want to watch anime again with me, that'd be pretty fun to do. And one of the cool things though is that if you're really feeling like you wanted something different, they did get all the original voice actors for the show to do the Japanese dub for the show, which is pretty cool. Arlong is voiced by a different character for reason. It's still interesting. Right now, it currently holds an 83% out of 40 critics, which is a 7.6 out of 10. On Metacritic, it's 67 out of 100 based on 20 critics. Generally favorable, so I agree with that. It's 6.5 to 7, which is what critics agree with. So we've outlined up with that, which is pretty nice. That's going to be it for me. I do agree with the performances. They were pretty fun. There was definitely a lot of stuff that was a bit kind of cringe, which is what I would expect from a shonen anime, but it was still fun to see, and I'm excited for a second season. Thank you everyone for watching, and have a great day.